Hey everyone, I just want to welcome you to the Hanboy RD channel on YouTube. This is going to be my first post, my first ever YouTube video, being new on all these platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram potentially, all these different platforms that I'm planning to go on to. This is my first video on YouTube. It is going to be the first part of a multi-part series where I take on telling you guys about my job experiences, all the different workplaces that I've worked at, some of the drama that goes on in between there, but mostly just kind of details. I know whenever I was starting to work at these places that I wanted a video of somebody who worked there, somebody that had the experience, somebody that actually truly was able to be there to tell me how was it. I know going on Reddit and going on all these subthreads of seeing people working at these places and writing text about it, it's not the same as it would be if you were to come to somebody like me who's worked there before and actually hear them and hear the stories. Me personally, I don't like reading over watching somebody's experiences on YouTube. I'd rather see somebody on YouTube tell me how good it is or what to expect. And so that's kind of what I want to run down in this first series is all these workplaces that I've worked at. Not all of them, just the more popular ones. Here starting out, we're going to start out with Five Below. Five Below is a great discount store. You can find many items from keychains to posters to t-shirts, makeup, pet accessories, and so on. And it's just a great store all around. It's definitely a cool store to show up to. And so if you guys want to go check out one today, hopefully there's one in your area and you can go check it out. But this story is actually not about the store. It's actually about their proprietary warehouse called Ship Centers. When I started working at Five Below, I had no idea what the workload was going to be. Of course, you know how many stores that they have just here in the United States, but you have no idea how many stores you're actually shipping to when you're the one pulling it and you're the one doing it. You would just think that the trucks get unloaded from a boat from overseas and get loaded onto a semi truck and just be taken to the stores. But actually, there's a middleman, the ship center, that palletizes all of that random, mostly from China stuff, takes it and organizes it to what store it's supposed to go to. And so at Five Below, I had a few different job titles or job positions within there, none of them being management or anything super important, but definitely a cog in the machine for sure. My first day was, of course, the interview, really. Most people want to say their first day is when they finally got their boots on the ground. But actually, your first day is your interview because you'll always remember your interview date. You'll always remember who got you in the door and who said, yes, you can finally work for me. At Five Below, as far as requirements for clothing, there is no requirement for clothing as long as you're wearing clothes. I had people on my shift show up in pajamas. I had people show up in sweatpants and a t-shirt, which was my favorite, or anything sporty and athletic to make sure that the sweat wicks off of you as you will be sweating most of the day. So at Five Below, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know whether to walk in and act like I own the place or just walk in and be a cog in the machine. And definitely either one is welcome, but cog in the machine is what you're going to be. I started out by applying for the high reach forklift position, thinking that I would have enough experience from prior jobs to take on that role, and I did. The first day, or the interview day, they also had an examination of my skills, and it was fairly easy. I got 100s all the way across the board, and they were really talking about bringing me on as soon as possible to be a high-reach forklift operator. The only thing is that is not what they were needing at the time. But I did not know this on interview day. Come orientation day, or officially day 2, orientation day included a various amount of paperwork, but also many DVDs from the leasing company about how to drive this equipment, how to operate it, and how to check it out maintenance-wise. And of course, once you're actually on the ground, you will not be using any of that information from those DVDs. The information from the DVDs kind of kickstarts your understanding if you've never drove warehouse equipment before. For that second day, it was just me and one other person that were going for high reach forklift operating. That other person ended up being a high reach forklift operator, while myself, I was not going to be one. They asked me on day 3 if I'd like to drive a walkie, and I completely lied and said yes. Through day 2, we had paperwork, videos, and hours of videos to watch. But ultimately, we got let go early. We got let go an hour before anybody else got out of the building, which gave us an opportunity to grab some free stuff. And that's one thing that I want to talk about with Five Below warehouses, is the amount of free stuff you will get as an employee at Five Below. With Five Below, of course, you get an employee discount, but working at the warehouse, you also get a lot of free stuff. The free stuff might be something that you actually wanted or needed. Like around Christmas, they usually give gift wrap out. During school supply months, they give away school supplies and backpacks for free for the workers. You can also choose to donate these. It's whatever you want. You own it now. But ultimately, the free stuff at Five Below was amazing. It was random things from Fortnite figures to Hello Kitty plushes. It was a great time being at Five Below. The only part that wasn't the great time was the amount of work that we did have. During the seasons of October, November, December, and January, Five Below is super busy, ramped up with production like you've never seen before. And it's because these stores have a lot of demand during those times, because for an average consumer, when is the only time you're going to go to Five Below? It's either when you need something really quick and really cheap, like gift bags, gift wrap, or home decor to maybe sell a house. You might run by Five Below just to get a cheap piece of decor. Or maybe you're a Five Below addict and you go every other week to see what kind of new deals they have. You get the emails and the notifications for the newsletters, and you go every other week. But ultimately, the busiest time for Five Below is Christmas. The amount of gift wrap that they have, from $1 options to $5 options, are amazing. The work at Five Below is very strenuous, and for the average person who's just wanting a job, you might not find Five Below your home. Even though there is a lot of free stuff and a lot of benefits, health benefits that honestly match or compete with others, and also a pay that's not half bad, you are looking at a great job as long as you're okay with walking miles a day. Which, for those that are out of shape, this miles a day might be great for you, because then you don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to start a membership. You don't have to spend extra money or time. You're getting paid to walk 3 football fields just to get to your workstation, and 3 football fields to clock out to leave. The biggest struggle is not just the walk, it's the amount of stuff that has to be picked and packed and put into the warehouse and sent out to the warehouse. Normally on a usual day, we would send 30,000 to 50,000 boxes out of that facility a day. And that was a normal day. Heavier days could equal near 40 to 70,000. And for that amount to be put onto a team of 15 to 20 people, that's a lot of boxes a day. Either way, we always made it through, push, and make sure that we were able to get things out. Five Below is a great place to work, but one of the greatest benefits is the amount of people that you will meet. Five Below is a very diverse company who tries to diversify their staffing and doesn't try to just get all in one pool and skills all in one pool. They will try to get people who have office experience, who have forklift experience, carpentry skills, any type of workforce that you've came from, you can find a fit in Five Below or a new skill. For me, I was supposed to be hired on as a high reach forklift operator, but was quickly changed into 3 different positions. And with those different positions, I learned more skills than I really have in a long time. With that, I was able to drive different equipment, and I was able to be a part of the distribution process for getting the product from the shelf to the pallet that was going to the store. Ultimately, my time at Five Below had ended, but it definitely is a great and fun workplace for you guys to check out.